So today I want to revisit something I said in a previous video, and I want to refine my advice, refine my message a little bit. So in the past, I made a video talking about how to judge your progress. And I made the point that you don't want to judge your progress by symptoms. You don't want to focus on symptoms when judging your progress. Even though ultimately what we want is to get rid of symptoms, ironically and paradoxically, it is the focus on symptoms themselves that is holding us back from getting rid of symptoms. Because when we focus on symptoms, and there are many scientific studies, fascinating scientific studies that prove this, I'll talk about it later in other videos. When we focus on symptoms, we amplify them. And not on purpose, that's just what happens. When we focus on things, they become bigger. We feel more pain when we focus on it. We feel more, whatever it is, whatever sensations in the body that we're focusing on, we feel them, they become amplified. We feel them at a greater intensity. So I gave the advice in the past that do not focus on the pain. Do not focus on the feelings of fatigue, all that sensory sensations associated with that, all that sensory experience. Do not focus on that. Instead, I advise that you focus on fear and concern with symptoms. How much attention is being taken up by symptoms, and how much fear do you have about symptoms? Like, how much do they bother you? How much do you get concerned and just bothered and, oh my God, I gotta do something about it? Because there's nothing to be done about it other than like not worrying about them, paradoxically. And that is all correct. I stand by that. But I just want to caution against something. I want to caution you against becoming fearful of fear, becoming fearful of anxiety, because that too can become a similar kind of problem. Just accept that for a while, for some period of time, as you do this, as you increase your activity, as you engage in physical activity, as you engage in mental activity, as you just expand your circle of life, you are going to be triggering anxiety. It's just going to happen, right? And when that anxiety gets triggered, that's okay. In fact, it's actually kind of a good sign. It means you are expanding your circle and you are reconditioning your brain, your mind, to be able to expose yourself to these things and accept them as normal, because ultimately you know you're okay, even though you have these unpleasant sensations. So the message today is, do not resist the anxiety. Do not process anxiety cognitively as something that you should be concerned with, as something to get rid of. Even though, yes, ultimately, the idea is that as we expose ourselves repeatedly in different contexts to different activities with different intensities and, different settings, etc., that the anxiety will subside and ultimately go away completely or almost completely. That's the idea. But if each time we're experiencing anxiety, we become concerned, become anxious about the anxiety, that just feeds the cycle. Anxiety is a kind of a funny thing. Like, the more you resist it, the more you don't want it, the more you get it. So understand that. That's basically my whole message for today, is do not focus on symptoms and do not focus on anxiety so much. Just do your part, go out there, do your thing, take a step back now and then, just sort of to reset, go and do it again, go and do it again. And that's the process. It's simple, but it's not easy. And it takes time to sort of recalibrate your mindset and sort of readjust how you react to things and how you interpret things. But in a nutshell, that's what you got to do. That's all there is to it. Simple, but not easy.